Introduction. Let's start with the basics of glenohumeral joint. That is, it's a synovial joint and it is of ball and socket type of variety. So this is the ball and this is your socket. What are the articulating surfaces? One, it's again divided into two types, which is proximal end and the distal end. The proximal end is your glenoid fossa of the scapula, and your distal end is the head of humerus. What happens here is, as Sister Desti has already told us, Pusha. I'm not asking you. So if you see, she's already mentioned that there's an anterior tipping in the resting position of scapula, correct? But in terms of glenoid fossa alone, there's a 6 to 7 degrees. There's a 6 to 7 degrees anterior tilting. Why is that? Because it helps in the maintaining of stability. There's one more thing that you guys need to understand, that glenohumeral joint is the most mobile joint in the body, because of which it prioritizes mobility over stability. So to ensure the bone does not dislocate, there is anterior movement of the glenoid fossa towards the outside, so that the head of humerus sits properly. Next we come to the distal end, which is the head of humerus. Now there are two parts that you need to understand here, which is, one is angle of inclination. The angle of inclination is basically the angle between the head of humerus and the shaft of the bone. Why is this important? It helps us understand the movement of the humerus better. Next is angle of torsion. Angle of torsion is basically the movement of the basically the angle between epicondyles and the head of humerus. So if you see, there are epicondyles here, right? The angle between the shaft of humerus and the epicondyle is angle of torsion. Next, we move on to the next. So if you guys can see here, see. So this is the angle of inclination, which is 135 degree. Remember the values; it is important. And angle of torsion is again the angle between the shaft and the epicondyles, which is 30 to 40 degrees. Let's move on to the next.